The illusion of American democracy? Folks, let's be honest, America's looking a little rough around the edges these days. We're supposed to be the land of the free, the beacon of democracy. Yet everywhere you look, people are at each other's throats. Social media is a dumpster fire. Congress is more interested in partisan bickering than solving real problems. Something stinks worse than a week-old freedom fries. And it ain't just the political climate. We're told we live in a democracy, a shining city on a hill. But what happens when that democracy starts to crumble? What happens when the voice of the people is silenced by those in power? Are we really as free as we think we are? Or are we living a carefully constructed lie? Some say America is facing a democracy problem. They say we're teetering on the edge of fascism. But what if it's worse than that? What if America isn't facing a democracy problem because deep down we've always been something else entirely? Buckle up, patriots, because we're about to dive headfirst into the uncomfortable truth about the good old US of A.
A history lesson. Now I know what you're thinking. Stephen, you're going full conspiracy theorist on us. But hear me out. After World War II, America did something pretty shady. We welcomed Nazi scientists and officers into the fold. Operation Paperclip, they called it. These weren't just low-level grunts, mind you. We're talking rocket scientists, intelligence operatives, the whole shebang. Why would we do this, you ask? Well, the Cold War was heating up and we needed an edge over the Soviets. So, we turned a blind eye to the atrocities committed by these Nazis and brought their expertise to our shores. Sure, we denazified them a bit, gave them a fresh coat of paint, but their ideologies, their methods, they didn't just disappear. Think about it. These were people who thrived in a system built on control, on fear, on silencing dissent. They understood how to manipulate information, how to turn citizens against each other. And they brought those skills with them to America.
Control and suppression in modern America. Fast forward to today, and what do we see? A government obsessed with surveillance, with controlling the narrative, with crushing dissent. We've got the Patriot Act, mass data collection, and a media landscape dominated by corporations with agendas. Coincidence? I think not. Look at how we treat whistleblowers like Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning. These are people who risked everything to expose government overreach, and how do we repay them? By branding them traitors and throwing the book at them. It's enough to make you wonder if the Nazis didn't just bring their rockets with them, but their playbook too. And what about the militarization of our police force? The increasing use of force against protesters? The erosion of our civil liberties in the name of security? These aren't isolated incidents, folks. They're symptoms of a deeper sickness. A sickness that's been festering in the American soul for decades.
The politics of jealousy, subjugation, and the American dream. But here's the kicker. It's not just the government that's to blame. We, the American people, have played a part in this too. We've bought into the myth of American exceptionalism, the idea that we're somehow better than everyone else. And when that myth is challenged, when we see others succeeding or our own position threatened, we lash out. We've become a nation of jealous lovers, clinging desperately to the American dream even as it slips through our fingers. We blame immigrants, minorities, anyone who we perceive as a threat to our way of life. We're so busy fighting each other, so consumed by our own anxieties, that we fail to see the bigger picture. We're like a dog chasing its tail, folks. Round and round we go, never stopping to question why we're running in the first place. We're so fixated on maintaining our position at the top, on preserving our own little slice of the pie, that we're willing to sacrifice our values, our principles, and even our own neighbors in the process.
The mask we wear, America's true face. So is America a fascist country with a democracy problem, or is it something far more insidious? Is it possible that the very foundations of this nation were built on a lie that we've been perpetuating for generations? We cloak ourselves in the language of freedom, of equality, of opportunity. But beneath that veneer lies a darker truth, a truth that we're often too afraid to confront. We've become the very thing we swore to fight against, a nation that values power over people, control over compassion, and greed over justice. The time has come to take a long, hard look in the mirror, America. We can no longer afford to ignore the uncomfortable truths about our past and present. The future of our nation, the very soul of our democracy, depends on it. Reflecting on the future. As we stand at this crossroads, it's crucial to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. What does democracy mean to you? Is the American dream still achievable for everyone? How do you perceive freedom in modern America? Are we truly free or subtly controlled? The answers to these questions are not just philosophical musings, they shape our reality and dictate our future. We need to understand that democracy is not a static concept, but an evolving practice. It requires constant vigilance, participation, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. So what steps can we take to ensure a fair and just society? We must start by educating ourselves and others about the true state of our nation. Awareness is the first step towards change. We need to hold our leaders accountable and demand transparency. We must advocate for policies that prioritize people over profit, compassion over control, and justice over greed. The road ahead is challenging, but it's a journey worth undertaking. The future of our democracy depends on our collective actions today. Let's strive to build a nation that genuinely reflects the ideals of freedom, equality, and opportunity for all. Thank you for watching. If you found this video thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe. Join the conversation in the comments below. Stay informed and stay engaged.